And then I wake up to him just like praying out loud, thinking, oh, that's really beautiful. I don't know if it's the right time, but I think he was praying for you guys.
Maybe sleep prayer is a new thing. We asked all of you that are in our Facebook group a question that is really powerful.
The question is, what advice would you give someone else who's grieving?
We didn't want to go get counselling, but we did, and we found a beautiful Christian lady, and it was powerful because she had lost a son.
I think that we brought joy in through stories because my mum was a very joyful person, even till the end.
Even if someone's had a similar circumstance to you, maybe it's you've both lost someone tragically, you've still got different journeys to walk.
Don't just expect, you lost a parent to cancer, that's going to be the same.
Totally.
She would remind people that grief can often feel overwhelming and dark, almost like we're trapped in a cave. But it's not a cave. It's more like a long tunnel. It requires us to take deep breaths and keep moving forward until we catch a glimpse of the light that there is at the end of the tunnel.
Oh.
And once we see that light, we feel relief as the light dispels the darkness.
Welcome back to another episode of Good Grief.
We're so glad you're here because we've been having a little side conversation about what happens when we're...
What happens in the bedroom?
PG.
Let's just put it out there. What happens in the bedroom?
What happens in the bedroom doesn't stay in the bedroom here.
Yeah. And we'll say, we didn't sleep much the other night. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. What happened?
Well...
What do you think happened?
Oh man, people are going to be like, what are they?
What are they about to say?
We did not come to this Good Grief episode to listen to their bedroom stories.
Well, come on, get to it.
It's coming to summer here in Australia. I just want to set the scene. Mm-hmm. And so it's quite hot during the day and then also at night. We haven't turned on our aircon yet. And so it was quite
just
hot.
The fan.
Yeah. So it's quite hot. And I think that bothered us. Both of us don't sleep well when it's warm.
Hot, yeah.
And so...
Tossing and turning.
Yeah. And so we just didn't get to sleep very well. And then I feel like next minute, it's only an hour later and we're waking up and maybe going to the bathroom or whatever. And you're snacking,
Yep. 2 a.m. snacks.
You're hungry.
Oranges.
Feed little girl.
Yep. Little girl. If you don't know, we're having a girl and she keeps me very hungry.
And so I don't remember what order it happened, but we both got up, got back into bed, and then you just wanted to have a conversation at whatever time it was.
Apparently.
And I was like...
You could be making this up, guys, but we'll roll with it.
Please. And I didn't want a piece of the conversation. It wasn't pillow talk time at 2 a.m. With Kaylee. I was like, no, I'm going to sleep. So I rolled over. I'm not partaking in this conversation. This can be had when we're awake.
So I must have gone back to sleep like, okay, not having a one-way conversation. And then I wake up to him just like praying out loud, thinking, oh, that's really beautiful. I don't know if it's the right time, but I think he was praying for you guys, like, dear Lord, I just pray for all.
I wasn't consciously praying, so it was just...
He wasn't.
I don't know if it's sleep prayer. Is that a thing? Like there's sleep talking, but maybe sleep prayer is a new thing. Anyway, we woke up with bags under our eyes.
Yeah.
And
we tried to go to the gym. Well, we did.
Yeah, and it was tough. And we don't even have a baby yet. So good luck to us.
So that was episode 1 of Bedroom Talk with Ryan and Kaylee.
It's a different podcast. Great you're here. If you're new to our world, hey, so good to have you here. It's in unfortunate circumstances that you're probably here. And we get it. I mean, we've been on this journey for a while. And the more we talk about it, to be honest, I discover, oh man, I've lost way more people than I thought I had.
Totally.
And so we might do an episode soon on like multiple losses because we've had a lot of you share with us like multiple losses and like how do we deal and cope with that. So we might talk about that soon.
And then other griefs. Like I just realized, I've had this other grief that I don't really...
Grieving friendships and loads of different things.
Yeah, totally.
So lots of topics.
Lots of things coming up. Stay tuned.
But I think this episode is going to be really helpful. We've got our phones at the ready because we asked all of you that are in our Facebook group a question that is really powerful. What's the question?
The question is, what advice would you give someone else who's grieving?
Yeah. So if you're not in our Facebook group, come and join it or maybe don't join it just yet. Listen to see
if you like this stuff.
See if you like the advice and some of the support. But I'm just always bragging on our family. We call you guys that are in our group, we call you family.
Yep.
You are
our family.
You're part of our family, and the support and love is just next level.
Phenomenal.
So how should we do this?
Oh, I reckon we just rip in.
Okay. So we asked the question, what's one piece of advice you'd give someone who's grieving for the first time? And we're just going to read some of the responses, and hopefully they find you really well. Take as much or as little as you need, but I've got a feeling there'll be something in here for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you kick us off?
All right. So our lovely friend Nalda says, though the pain is unbearable and it's hard to be around people, at least it was for me, don't do it alone. So good. Just so simple, but so good. Find support groups or counselling because it helps to get all of the feelings out and to surround ourselves with people who truly understand our plight. It's helped me immensely.
Yeah, huge.
Mm-hmm. So big.
Don't do it alone.
Don't do it alone.
Even though it feels like sometimes you want to do it alone.
And get the feelings out. I found just talking about, I had a beautiful bunch of friends, and so they knew my mum, and so it was just talking about her all the time and talking about it. And although it's hard to tell the story of when she died and what I was feeling and doing when it was happening, it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it gets easier.
Yeah. And our family, we didn't want to go get counselling, but we did. And we found a beautiful Christian lady, Zia, who walked us through those early days.
I've heard lots about Zia.
Yeah, and it was powerful because, she had lost a son. That was like the first question we asked her. What do you know about grief? She's like, well, I've lost a son. We're like, cool, let's talk. That sort of just helped with the context big time. We understood that she got it. She understood that we got it. And we started from there. It wasn't easy, but it helped. Yeah.
Sometimes it might actually take you a few different people to find the person that you click with, that you feel comfortable with. And that's okay too.
Yeah. My psychologist recently, when we first got together, he was like, hey, if you don't gel with me, I won't be offended. And there's probably people I can refer you to as well.
That's so nice.
Thankfully, we gelled.
Yeah.
Legend. Cool. Thanks, Nalda. Appreciate your support.
Yes.
Next up, we've got Jennifer. And Jennifer says, don't let anyone make you feel like you have to get over it or move on. You can't rush through it, and you shouldn't. Don't feel shame about grieving your person or persons.
And what did we just do our last episode on?
Moving on.
But moving forward.
Yeah, you don't have to move on.
So we've reframed it, guys. Moving forward, you're not moving on, you're not letting it go. It's coming with you. So moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super good. And I love that as well. Don't let anyone make you feel like you have to do or be a certain way.
Totally.
Yeah, super
or
good.
A certain timeline.
It's your journey. You own it, and nobody else can tell you any two ways about it.
Yeah. All right. Hannah says, allow yourself to grieve in your own way and on your own timeline. 100%. Grief is a highly individual process, and there is no right or wrong way to navigate it. It's also important to seek support from friends, family, or professional if needed, but also to be patient and gentle with yourself through it all. Self-care is also important.
Great reminder.
Good reminder.
For me, I love that because in school, I wasn't like the, sharpest tool in the shed, so I didn't ace my tests. And with exams, there's right and wrong. It's pretty black and white. But I love what Hannah says. There's no right or wrong way to do it. And I just feel so relieved. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Thanks, Hannah.
Yeah. Thank you, Hannah, for letting me off the hook on this one.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way, guys.
No. And it's so individual. Like what we say works for us might not work for you or might not feel comfortable or whatever. But yeah.
That's why we have these conversations.
Yes.
And that's why there's tons of advice.
Take things,
From
try
Al.
it, figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've got the wonderful Patty. And Patty says, it's a roller coaster and you can't prepare for the ride. Take one moment at a time.
Wise words from Patty.
Yeah. And it really is. Moment by moment. Like,
Nothing can prepare you for your first big grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like a steam train.
yeah, I remember just time slowing down to literally minute by minute and thinking, oh man, I can't survive another second. And then you do. And then you survive a minute and then it's an hour and then, oh, I need to find something to eat because it's meant to be the time when I'm hungry, so I should eat something. And then, oh, nighttime's here. Finally, I can, at least fall asleep and forget about my troubles for the day. It's just moment by moment. Thanks, Patty.
Yep.
All right. You've got Angela.
I got Angela. All the emotions and feelings you feel are real. You're not imagining it. It affects your whole being, mind, body, and soul. And it's real, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. In brackets. Unfortunately, emoji. X.
With a kiss.
Thanks, Angela. You're amazing.
Surrounding it with love. Thanks, Ange.
Yeah. Sometimes, that's it. Hey, it's just understanding that what we're feeling is real.
Yeah. Coming to terms with, this has happened. I'm in the feels. This is what's going on, and roll with it.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Our next guest on the show, the wonderful Katie. Katie says, grieve in your own way, on your own timeline, and allow yourself to feel all the feelings. Don't numb it. And she said, even the feeling of joy. Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel guilty for feeling joy.
Totally. I think that we brought joy in through stories because my mum was a very joyful person, even till the end. And just telling stories and having laughs about what she would say or what she had said, all the silly things. That was super helpful to keep joy around, even through the cries and the hard times and the
laugh cries.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that we
start
can
laughing and then you cry and then you're back to laughing?
Isn't it crazy we can be crying and laughing at the same time?
Yeah. Talk about mixed emotions.
We're a wonderful creation, aren't we?
We are.
All right, back to the advice. Brenda says, let yourself feel every emotion. So this has been a bit of a common theme in the last 3 pieces of advice. So let yourself feel every emotion. Don't let anyone's opinion of you grieving get to you because no one knows your grief but you. That is huge.
Thanks, Brenda.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, feel the feels, guys. Don't bottle it up
Yep.
because that'll only cause you more pain later.
Totally.
For real.
Yeah, and I think also, even if someone's had a similar circumstance to you, maybe it's you've both lost someone tragically, you've still got different journeys to walk. There's similarities.
Ours are different.
Yeah, ours are super different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone else, I lost friends, my dad died in a plane crash, and then I lost friends in a plane crash, their family would be experiencing that different to how I experienced my grief, even though they're very similar.
I mean, the same kind of loss is also still experienced differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
Don't just expect, you lost a parent to cancer. It's going to be the same.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So, Karen says, when overwhelming negative emotions start, sit with them. Where are you feeling the emotion? What is the emotion? Visualize the emotion rolling through your body, down your feet and out into the earth. She can hold all of our strong emotion for us. We can't store them in our bodies because it's too much.
Oh, yeah. I just took a deep breath. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Karen. Wise advice. Don't hold on to the emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it out.
Yep. Walking helps. Just getting out and going for a walk.
And getting grounded. Shoes off. Feet in nature, on the grass, on the sand.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Alicia. And Alicia says, everyone grieves differently and the stages of grief are all over the place. Which
Don't we know that?
it's so true. I think a lot of people misconstrue and confuse the work that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross did in developing the 5 stages of grief as if it's some like step-by-step timeline.
Yeah.
And it's totally not. And, you know, she explains that pretty explicitly
She does.
in her work.
Yeah, the start of every book.
But I can totally relate to those stages. And even though she did a lot of her studies on people that were dying rather than people that were grieving the death of those they loved, still applicable, but they happen all over the place. I can still feel anger and denial and all of the different things. And there's more stages than just those as well, as we know. So just knowing that there's no order.
Yep.
That can be like confronting, but it can also be liberating at the same time.
Totally.
Your order is your order.
Yep. It's yours.
Thanks, Alicia.
Angela, another Angela, different one. She would remind people that grief can often feel overwhelming and dark, almost like we're trapped in a cave, but it's not a cave. It's more like a long tunnel. It requires us to take deep breaths and keep moving forward until we catch a glimpse of the light that there is at the end of the tunnel.
Oh.
And once we see that light, we feel relief as the light dispels the darkness. Oh, sounds like a Bible story. It's also important to find someone you love and trust who can take you by the hand and help you keep moving forward
Yeah.
on the hard days so that you know you aren't stuck. The difficult and dark days happen, but they don't last. So keep moving forward.
Go, Angela.
Go, Ange. It's like she knew we were going to do that episode.
Yeah. Keep moving forward. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
I love that. And also that reminder that difficult and dark days happen, but they don't last. And so
Totally.
I think, you know, a lot of our fam that listen in and that are part of our community, you know, a lot of them are really in the thick of their grief.
Thick of those dark days.
Yeah, and so sometimes it's hard to think there's a light out.
Yeah.
But there
Easy
is.
for you to say.
Yeah, but there is.
Yeah.
And I think Angela nailed it.
And some people have more of those days than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more. Hope you're finding these helpful, by the way. I've read them a bunch of times and they're helpful every time I read them. So
Totally.
Lance says, hang on, because it's a messed up ride. Don't be afraid or adverse to feel whatever you're feeling. Your feelings are valid. I also just love how like vulnerable and how simple, you know, the emotions are. Like just by saying it's a messed up ride, it really is. Like that's as plain as it gets. And
Yeah, it's not this bike ride through a field of daisies.
yeah,
It's like a roller coaster that you think's like going to break down and you're going
Totally.
to fall out of.
yeah,
It's hectic.
it's very hectic. All right,
Did everyone like my pictures? I'm
No.
good at them. All right, Barb. She says, do it in your own time and your own way. But above all, talk about that person. So good. Because they were here and they were loved. And so we must keep talking about them. So good. I think
Yeah.
that was our family's motto, is that we were like, well, none of us really ever done this before, but
If we keep talking about them, we'll keep them alive.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's why we also encourage, you know, everyone to say their name often.
totally.
And, you know, we'll put posts out there that will say something like, you know, what's your loved one's name? And
We'll say what is their name, not what was their
that's
name.
totally, yeah, it still is
It
their name.
still is their name.
Yeah.
You know, they don't lose their name and you're like, lost someone, they don't have a name anymore.
Yeah. What is their name?
What is their name?
Um,
Keep talking about them, keep their spirit alive.
So if you're watching along somewhere, maybe pop their name down below and honor them, and we'll honor them as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
A couple more. We got Alvina, and Alvina says, my friend gave me grief coping cards. I love this. And it says, one reminds me to eat, drink, and breathe, and that is enough. So good. I found that helpful because you can feel so lost and unsure what to do. Also, you will make it through this.
You
Super
will.
encouraging. Eat,
Sleep.
drink, and breathe.
Oh,
It doesn't
not
say sleep.
Doesn't
but
say sleep.
Maybe,
I'm adding a card, guys.
maybe sleep is another coping card.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are important and they're so simple.
Yeah.
Like I said, like, you know, it would be lunchtime or dinner time and you might not feel hungry, but it's like your body does need sustenance. And so just a reminder of like, oh, I should eat.
And in those early days, it's so good to just allow yourself to be like, what did I achieve today? I ate, I drank,
Yep. I breathed.
and I breathed.
Totally.
And that was a good day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fully.
If you can accomplish those 3 things, you're doing good.
Yeah. Story time with Ryan. I remember just a heartbreaking, you know, one of those moments I was just consoling mum and, you know, she was almost unconsolable. I was just holding her tight and she was so worked up that she was almost not breathing. And the only things I would say to her at that time, I was just saying, just breathe, you know, just reminding her, just breathe, just breathe. So much so that we ended up writing a song called Breathe, you know,
Oh, wow.
and the lyrics were about that moment in just walking her through the most simplest of simple, which seems silly when you look back, like, oh, I needed to breathe, but no wonder there's coping cards.
Totally.
You know?
I mean, you were saying that to me last night when I was having a cry.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You were holding your breath and you couldn't breathe through your nose because you're crying. And so I was like, just breathe. Or open that mouth. You're not going to breathe through your ears. So, all right.
All right.
Lucky last.
Sammy, thanks, Sammy, for writing in. Your grief is your journey. No one else can tell you how you should go through it. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. I think there's a common thread here.
Totally. Yeah. Some really good key thoughts.
Yeah.
Your
grief is your own. No 2 griefs are the same.
Yeah. Talk about your
Talk
person.
it out.
Feel the feels.
Feel the feels and let them out.
And do the simple things.
Do the simple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hope you found these helpful. We'd love to know if you're listening, watching. Let us know somewhere what's been most helpful from our family feedback. And if you're not in our Facebook group, come and join us. The links are below. Should be nice and simple. And this stuff is happening all the time.
It's beautiful. Every day. Yeah. If you liked this stuff and you want more of it, come join our Facebook group.
Totally.
Yeah. These have been good reminders. Even for us, 10, 11 years on.
100%.
Maybe that's the same for you. It's been like, oh yeah, I could do that more often, or that was a good thing. Yeah. So.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun.
Thanks to everybody who gave advice. You're amazing.
You are
and
amazing.
Don't stop. And just by helping somebody else, you will help yourself.
Yeah. Keep a look out for more of these in the Facebook group because, we'll want to use these for more episodes and share with everyone. So thanks for everyone for writing in.
And big love until next time.
Big love. Ciao.